There are some colleagues to reach out to. Kindly do so now. We are starting. My name is Engineer Juliet Maunyo-Gomita, the Director of Membership Services here at the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Can we please have a volunteer to give us an opening prayer, a short one?
Okay. And so, our dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we thank you for this gracious moment. We are so thankful and grateful unto you. We pray to commit our meeting into the hands of you, God, asking that you make everything a successful one. Indeed, it is written in the book of Proverbs that we should commit all our doings into the hands of you, God, and it shall make it a success. We ask that, Lord, you will grant unto us understanding, wisdom, in the name of the Lord Jesus, and you make everything end well in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Augustine. You are all welcome again. My name is Juliet. I'm here with the chair of the membership committee and another membership committee member who would introduce themselves as we proceed. We are 143 now. We are here assisted by Mr. Richard Peters. He's also here. A few housekeeping rules. Kindly keep your microphones on mute. Turn off your camera to avoid distractions. If you have a comment, you can type it in or raise up your hand, especially during the Q&A session. And if there's anything we can help with, kindly type it out. We would assist you. We would like to acknowledge the presence of any council member online, any membership committee member online, and the staff online, especially Mr. Richie. Thank you for joining. So we'll go right ahead. I will hand over to Engineer Dr. Michael Ankama Bekwin, who will take it up from here. He's the chair of the membership committee of our council year 2025 to 2027. Thank you and have a great session. Kindly keep your microphones on mute. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Director Membership. And welcome, colleagues. Without further ado, I'll just continue with a few introductions. This presentation is going to be done by myself and Engineer Samobwama Dankwa and Engineer Sicho. So I'll start with the presentation, and along the line, they will pick it up, and then we continue. So please, can you see the slides?
Okay. Yes.
Yes, please, we can see the slides.
Yes, please, we can see it.
Yeah. All right, fantastic.
And what you mean?
Okay.
So whether.
Yeah. All right, so that's by way of contact. If you maybe after the presentation, if there are any concerns you want, you can reach me out on this email, and that's my phone number. The outline of presentation is going to be as follows. Give a brief objectives of the workshop. You are coming to join an institution, give you some general information about the institution. And then essentially, this is where your interest is, the route to membership, what the membership application process is. We'll also tell you about the professional examination itself, the results of the professional examination, and then induction members. Next slide. Okay, so this is the objective of our workshop. One, we want to prepare the candidates to understand the requirements of the professional examination, and then to educate candidates on the procedures during and after the professional examination. Now, by way of the institution that you want to join, the general information, the name of this institution is the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Now, the Ghana Institution of Engineering, we've seen a name change. It used to be called the Ghana Institute of Engineers, Institution of Engineers, and we changed the name because with time, previously we were only looking at professional engineers, but now we are looking at all engineering practitioners. So which occasioned the name Ghana Institution of Engineering. So sometimes people make that mistake, but want to bring that across to you that, okay. Now we are guided by a set of constitution and bylaws. And so I'm going to go through some definitions as contained in our constitution and bylaws. The first one, if you go through Article 1 of the of our constitution, institution means Ghana Institution of Engineering. A branch refers to a geographical branch of the institution. So GhIE has about 7 branches at different geographical locations. A class means a category of membership of an occupational group. And I'll go into further details as we proceed. An engineering practitioner is a person possessing the necessary qualification and experience to practice engineering. So we are now looking at not just professional engineers with bachelor degree or equivalent, but once you are a practitioner of an engineering, you are registered. The institution registered you. And not only do we register members, but we also register entities that provide engineering services. Next slide. Now, a full member of the GhIE is a member of the institution in the class of fellow senior member or member belonging to an occupational group. Now that I'm talking about occupational group, an occupational group essentially is a category of an engineering practitioner. So within the institution, we have 4 occupational groups. And so if you are a full member, you will be registered to belong to any of those 4 occupational groups. Now you can be an ordinary member and not be a full member. So we have, we register students. You can be a TP, a trainee professional engineer. You are not yet a full member of the institution. And within the institution, we also have technical divisions. So all members are registered into a technical division. And again, we have 4 distinct technical divisions within the institution. I'll go into that very shortly. Council means council of the institution. And a class means a category of membership. And I think up there, I've already explained what a class. So you can either be a fellow senior member or member, depending on the occupational group you find yourself in. Next slide. What is the objective of the institution? GhIE exists to promote and advance the science and the practice of engineering to the benefit of not only Ghana, but Africa and globally as well. What are our functions? The GhIE registers and regulates engineering practice. It exists to maintain professional standards, promotion of our welfare. We undertake civic service, and we are also there exist to promote and recognize excellence. Those are largely the functions of GhIE. Geographically, we have, as I indicated earlier, we have a headquarters, which is in Accra, and branches, and within the branches, we also have chapters. Now, the technical divisions, as I mentioned,
Kindly mute your microphone.
An engineer on. Right now, plant production.
all right, participants, please observe the etiquette of. So the technical divisions, as we have the chemical and mining technical division, we have the civil technical division, we have the electrical and electronics technical division, then we have the mechanical, electric, and marine technical division. Now, there's a possibility of us to expand beyond these technical divisions, but as we speak, if you are going to apply, you will find yourself in one of these technical divisions. The occupational groups that we have the professional engineers occupational group, we have the professional engineering technologists, we have the engineering technicians, and we have the engineering craftsmen. And you belong to either of these occupational groups depending on your academic qualification and experience. That will qualify you to be in either of these occupational groups. And I think I already indicated we register members and registered entities. Article 5 deals with membership. Who is a member of the institution? An engineering practitioner, a trainee engineering practitioner, a student, and temporary members. So pretty much, I think most of you maybe will fall in the trainee engineering, the trainee professional engineer. You are all TPs. Okay. And then for the occupational group, the classes that are allowed in the occupational groups, we have senior member classes, we have members, we have trainee members, and we have student members. But except for the professional engineering occupational group, which allows for the class of fellow. Next slide. Article 5.5 also deals with honorary classes. And here we have the honorary fellows and companion members. Pretty much we are looking at people who may not have the academic qualification, but have conducted themselves they've conducted themselves in the practice of engineering. So we look at the work that they have done and it's fostering engineering practice. and council can confer on them the honorary fellow title. For companion members, maybe there are groups of people who may not have, again, the academic qualification background. They may belong to other professional entities or bodies, but the work that they do fosters engineering, and so we can register them as companion members. Now, if you are successful with the exams and you become a member, we have post-nominal titles and designations as stipulated in Article 5.7. So you can be a fellow of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, and I think the list is all over there. For full members, you can prefix your name with the ING title or designation. Next slide. What is GhIE? The governing body of GhIE. So the council is made up of the following people: the president, an immediate past president, the president-elect, the vice president, one executive rep of each occupational group. We have 3 national councillors representing an occupational group, chairpersons of technical divisions, branch chairpersons, 4 rep of registered entities, past presidents, a rep of affiliated engineering group, and the executive director who has no votes. So these people make up the council. And presently, for the 2025-2027 council year, next slide, these are members. It is headed by the president. Presently is Engineer Ludwig Anand Hesse, and the names of the others council members are listed below. Next slide. Officers of the institution, those who do the day-to-day running of the institution, we call them the EXCO, the executive committee. It comprises of the president, the immediate past president, the president-elect, the vice president, the executive rep of the occupational groups, and the executive director. The Ghana Institution of Engineering has some standing committees. Again, we have the Finance Committee, Membership Committee, Education and Training Committee, Professional Practice and Ethics Committee, Publications Committee, Welfare Committee, and Conferences and Programs Committee. So just for the avoidance of doubt, the committee that is handling this workshop is the Membership Committee. Now, GhIE has some code of ethics and disciplinary procedures, as it is with many other organizations. What is the objective of the code of ethics? Is to ensure that engineering practice in the country conforms to established technical, environmental, and safety standards. Our preamble states that honesty, justice, and courtesy form a moral philosophy which, associated with mutual trust among people, constitutes the foundation of ethics. Keystone of professional conduct is integrity. Members shall therefore discharge their duties to the public, their employers and clients, with fidelity and with fairness and impartiality to all. So if you are successful and you become a registered member of GhIE, you are expected to develop and improve your knowledge, skills, and competence on a continuous basis. You are not expected to advertise yourself in a self-laudatory manner and shall avoid all conduct or practice likely to discredit or to injure the dignity and honor of the profession. You are not to improperly solicit professional work, directly or indirectly by an agent, nor shall pay by commission or otherwise any person who may introduce clients to him. And there are more of these. Eventually, you get to know if you become a member. Now, GhIE is backed by law. So, Act 819, Engineering Council Act 2011, was passed or was assented to on 31st May 2011. And that is the law backing our operations. The object of the council is to secure the highest professional standards in the practice of engineering. And it has the functions to regulate the practice of engineering, determine and prescribe requirements for initial and continuing registration, maintain and publish annually registers for engineering practitioners in the country, determine the limits to areas of engineering practice and operation, and then license relevant and appropriate engineering bodies to certify individuals and corporate bodies for initial and continuing registration. Next slide. So I think we've mentioned this. We register, so the Act register practitioners to belong to these occupational groups: the professional engineers, the professional engineering technologists, engineering technicians, and then engineering craftsmen. So there's a register that you will fall into one way or the other. And for emphasis, you are only qualified to practice only when you are registered in one of the above 4 registers. The register shall be classified into temporary and permanent. So please, let's take note. It is only when any person who is practicing engineering in Ghana and has not been registered by the council is operating illegally. There is a legislative instrument that, as it is with every act, that essentially gives flesh to the act, it gives operational ability to the act. And that legislative instrument is LI 2410. So essentially it gives better details on Act 819 vis-a-vis its implementation. So this is by way of introduction of what the institution is about. At this moment, we'll move on to route to membership. What does it entail for you to become a member? And Engineer Samuel Boama will take you through.
Thank you very much, Engineer Chair. So for all the occupational groups, it's important we are able to identify the specific route or routes that will lead us to membership. And by so doing, this will help us structure ourselves and our preparation towards the examination in its entirety. Next. So just as Engineer Chair did indicate, there are 4 occupational groups, and these occupational groups are the professional engineers, the professional engineering technologists, the engineering technicians, and the engineering craftsmen. And it's important we are able to determine or identify how each of these occupational groups will be able to become a member of the institution. So I'll first of all start with the professional engineers group. And generally, for all the occupational groups, there are 2 main criteria that would enable you to become a member of the institution. The first deals with your academic or educational qualification, and the second deals with your work experience or practice as an engineer. And so for the professional engineers route, once you have your Bachelor of Science degree, your Bachelor of Engineering, your Bachelor of Technology in Engineering, or its equivalent approved by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission. Then once you also have at least 3 years of post-qualification experience, and embedded in the 3 years, we should be able to identify the fact that at least 2 years of the minimum of 3 years has been in your involvement in practical training under a supervisor, and at least a year in a position of responsibility, which is very key. Once you satisfy these 2 requirements, you can apply to undertake the professional examination. Once you pass, then you become a professional engineer. And 10 years of practice after becoming a professional engineer, you can apply to become a senior professional engineer. The next route, again, for the professional engineer occupation group is where you are a senior professional engineering technologist and you have upgraded yourself by undertaking a BSc degree in engineering or a BTech in engineering or a BEng or its approved equivalent. In addition to that, you should have had a minimum of 3 years post-qualification experience, and within the 3 years, at least 2 of them should have been your involvement in practical training under a supervisor, and again, a minimum of 1 year out of the minimum of 3 in a position of responsibility. Once you satisfy these criteria, you can apply to write a professional exam. Once you pass, you become a professional engineer, and 10 years after becoming a professional engineer, you can apply to become a senior professional engineer. The next occupational group is the professional engineering technologist. The professional engineering technologist. And for this occupational group, if you have a higher national diploma in engineering or its equivalent from an accredited institution, you, in addition to that, you have a minimum of 3 years post-qualification experience. Again, in the 3 years minimum, you should have had 2 years of practical training and at least a year in a position of responsibility. You can also apply to write a professional examination. Once you pass, you become a PET, and then 10 years after practice as a PET, you become an SPET. The second route for a professional engineering technologist is where you are a senior engineering technician or an engineering technician, and again, you upgrade yourself by having a higher national diploma in engineering or its approved equivalent. In addition to that, a minimum of 3 years post-qualification experience, and again, as I have reiterated in the previous occupational groups, a minimum of 3 years, 2 years for practical training and 1 year in the position of responsibility. You apply to write the exam, and once you pass, you become a PET, and then 10 years after practice, you can apply to become an SPET. The next occupational group is where you have a technician diploma, or you have a technician diploma in engineering or its approved equivalent, and you have 3 years of training and engineering practice minimum. Then you also apply for the exam and you go through a similar process. Once you pass, you become an ET, and 10 years after practice as an ET, you are confirmed to be an SET. The next occupational group is for engineering technicians, where you have a master, or you are a master engineering craftsman or an engineering craftsman, and you have a CODVET certificate. I think CODVET has been changed, but you have that certificate, and you practice for a minimum of 3 years again 2 years minimum practical training, and 1 year minimum position of key responsibility. You apply for the exam, and then once you pass, you become an ET, and then 10 years after practice as an ET, you become an SET. Then the final occupational group, or the final route for the engineering craftsman occupational group, is again where you have your CODVET certificate and you have a minimum of 4 years practical training and engineering practice. In this instance, you don't apply for the examination, but once you have that minimum of 4 years, you qualify to become an engineering craftsman, and then 10 years after practice as an engineering craftsman, you become a master engineering craftsman. So beyond these, there is another category of people who are referred to as the mature candidates. These class of people do not necessarily have the academic qualification, but over the years, they have practiced extensively in engineering, and they so desire to affiliate with the institution. So such people can also be considered. And the main essence is, or the main criteria, by looking at their age and the extensive nature of their practice, they qualify to fill the standard GhIE application form. They submit the relevant career reports that should detail the extent of experience and practice they've gathered over the period, and then they can sit for the professional examination. So once all these criteria are satisfied, then the application for membership process also comes in. So at this point in time, if my colleague Sicho is online, you take this up and then take us through the GhIE online examination platform that enables us to get into the application for membership.
Sicho, are you there?
Yes, Engineer Chair, I'm here.
All right, so please, we want you to project from your end.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, he has the slides.
Oh, okay. You can have continued.
So that we can show by
you.
Let's ask him.
That's like the right slides. All right.
Okay.
Please,
I hope we can all,
put it in the presentation mode.
Yeah.
I hope we can all see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening once again, and thank you very much, Engineer and Engineer Chair. My name is Sicho, as rightly said, and I'll be presenting on the online examination platform. That is the TPE usage guideline. And for today, we'll be going through a number of issues. We'll be looking at the introduction to the platform, and we'll be looking at the form requirements for the application. That is the application stage. We'll be looking at the payments for the examination, as well as the written exams. And I'll maybe, if not, then I'll pause for some questions. But if we would have to do it during the Q&A session too, that should be fine. And I will end my presentation there. And so that is what we'll be looking at. So the online platform, as I initially said, what it is that it's an online platform that handles the application of trainee members. And it also handles the payments for their certification exams. And then also trainee members take the written exams online. And so basically that's what it does. The payment platform has or accepts your mobile money payments, or your bank card. Now, we'll be looking at that in detail, and also the written exams, as I said, is taken online, and our written exams is AI proctored. What that means is that the invigilation is actually done by an AI system. So, in a nutshell, we'll be looking at, I'll be going through that with you, but what it basically means is that whilst you are writing your exams, you wouldn't have physical invigilators in the exam hall, or maybe if you are writing it from another location or wherever you're writing it from, you would have the AI proctoring tool in your browser. Also, we have another feature. Sorry, just a moment. Okay, so as I was saying, we have a feature, a new browser that we have for people who have challenges with the proctoring tool, and we'll be making that available at the various branches or the various examination centers. So that is that. I'll move on to the next slide. So yes, so on the requirements for the application, the form requirements for the application stage, before you actually attempt to use this platform, there are certain requirements. One is that you should have already submitted your personal information to the GhIE Secretariat. Two, you should have your GhIE number. You can actually confirm with the Secretariat if your details that you supplied are correct. You should have, amongst the details that you supplied to the institution, you should have a working email address and then a Ghanaian phone number. Also, yes, a working email address and a Ghanaian phone number. And then once you are set, you can then visit the application page at the URL provided in the screen. What we are going to do is probably the institution will send this link around, or maybe I can also project it at the end of the presentation for those who would want to capture it. Once I'm done with the presentation, any time from now till, I think the portal will be open for 2 weeks. I don't know if you can confirm, Richard. The duration at which the portal will be open.
Yes, it should for 2 weeks.
Okay. So yes, so from now till the 2 weeks period, the portal will be open. And when it's after 2 weeks, I don't know if you're going to give any grace period, but what it means is that exactly after 2 weeks, the portal will be closed. And so you should also take note of that. So this is the page you'll be greeted with when you visit the link, okay? And it has a few fields. I'm going to take my time and explain what each field does. The exams for this year or this cohort is June, July, EPE examinations. Richard, can you confirm that for me? We're in the June, July cohort, if that's correct.
July-August.
Okay, sorry. July, August cohort. Okay. So that is the exam. So we have that for each technical division. And so in the examination field, and the last field on your screen, the select field will be populated with those names for each division. So when you are selecting, you have to be careful and select the one that the one that you belong to, or which technical divisions exams you belong to. So in the very first field, you have to enter your GhIE number. Now, immediately after entering your GhIE number, the page or the system will send a token to your phone number. That is why I said you need a working Ghanaian number, because the SMS the system sends are only to Ghanaian numbers at this point in time. We do not do international SMS as of now. And so you would need a working Ghanaian number. Okay, once you get, I want to confirm if everybody can see my screen. Just a moment. I want to take.
Yes, please.
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yes, please.
Yes,
We can see it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then I'll continue from there. So, as I said, so you have to first enter your GhIE number. You're going to get
can also
an
see
SMS. Okay. Thank you. So you first enter your GhIE number. You're going to get an SMS token, and then you enter the token. Then after entering the token, the system will confirm if the token is correct or it's the one that was sent to that particular number. Mind you, you won't see any phone number here. What it means is that it is the phone number that you've already supplied to the institution as your personal information. That is what we are going to use. And so if you are not sure of which phone number you've used, if you are not sure of which phone number you use, please contact the secretariat and then confirm. Okay. So then I'll go to the next slide. So as I was saying, you will enter the token to continue. Now, after you click on the next button, as you can see on your screen, it will take you to another page. Now, that page will have your personal details that you've already supplied, pre-filled on the page. Okay, so what it means is that there are certain information that you've already provided to the secretariat. Once we confirm that this is indeed your phone number and we've confirmed the token, we will take you to another page that has your personal details. Some of these information are already pre-filled. The others, you would have to either confirm yourself or you enter them yourself. Some of them will also be pre-filled, but will not be disabled. So that's for you. And on this page too, you are also going to see a new field that was introduced, I think sometime last year. That is the branches field, where you select your applicable branch. Please also take note of that. Now, after that, after filling all your, after going through your personal details and then filling all that, you would be taken into another page. Now, that page is where you are going to select the occupational group you are applying to. We heard Engineer Chair speak about the occupational groups. So you're going to see all four of them there, and you select which one you are applying to. You are also going to select your area of specialty on that same page. And then there's also a portion where you select or you fill or you supply your educational background. That is your institution, the year of completion, and then your course. So the form looks like something like this. So we have the occupational group there, the area of specialty, and then the academic qualification, as rightly stated. So you have your institution, your certificate awarded, that is the course awarded, and then the year of the award. Now you can add as many as you'd want to provide the system. And so that is that. Now, again, that is that. Now, when you click on the next and you go to the next page, this will be the page where you are going to select the sponsors and your proposers for your application. I hope engineer chair and engineer present in the meeting, maybe if I get to this part wrong, you would also offer some guidance. So if you happen to select a PE, so the good thing about this is that you do not have to worry your head so much about it. Once you select your occupational group, the system already knows the criteria for which. And so once you select your occupational group, it will pre-fill the page with the required number of entries for you. And it will also filter the list for you. For example, if you select PE, you are going to get 3 rows. The first row will be the one for the fellow, and then the next 2 rows will be the ones for the supporters. And so it's the same for the PET, the ET, and then the EC. And so you don't have to worry yourself so much about this. However, there's a catch here. What happens is that any person or any member of the institution that you select is going to receive a notification once you complete your application. There's been instances where maybe trainee members applying are not sure who to select. And so sometimes when these issues come to me, sometimes what I'll tell them is you would have to just note the person's name you selected, and then try and then reach out to the person and then let the person know. Sometimes the application notification or the request notification might go to them in their emails, but because they are not expecting anything or because they are not even looking at it, they might not confirm this part for you. This is also very crucial because what it means is that if they don't confirm it for you, your application cannot progress. And so anytime you get to this portion, if you know the person you are selecting, that is fine. But if you don't, I would advise that you note the person's name down and then you reach out to the person so that your application might go on smoothly. So that is something that you should note. And this is how the form looks like, that page looks like. So the person's occupational group would appear there, the person's GhIE number, and then the supporters will also follow. That is what I'm saying. Okay, so after this, then we'll go to your employment details. So as engineer, so once you complete this part, you'd be taken to another page where you'll be required to enter your employment details. Now, the requirements have been made clear already in the earlier presentation we saw. By default, the system also knows for which particular occupational group you select and the requirements, the mandatory requirements. This is something that cuts across all of them. So the requirements are that you're supposed to have done 1 year mandatory national service and 2 years working experience. That is engineering experience. And so that is what the system will be looking out for. Again, if you select any of these entries and you fill your employment details as required, and we are not getting the 1 year mandatory national service plus 2 years, you will not be able to proceed. That is what it is. For each page or for each section of the application form that you go to, there are certain requirements. The requirements are what we are discussing in this session today. All the requirements will apply. And so please note that. Right. And so this is how that form looks like. And so you would enter that, you select your engagement type. The engagement type will be your national service, or it's a full-time, or it's a contract, or any other engagement. And you provide the other details as necessary. So now, then after this page, if you've satisfied all the requirements on this page, you move on to the next, which is the continuous. Yes. So which is the continuous professional development. And so here you are supposed to enter any course or seminar that you have attended. It could be GhIE course or seminar, or any other verifiable course. Sorry, I just realized I was muted for a bit. I don't know if you heard what I said.
Teacher, we hear you now, please.
Okay, so please, where was the last thing? Which page was I on before I was muted, please?
Same page. You are muted for just about a few seconds. So.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
So I was saying continuous professional development. So okay, so let me just go back to the employment details. So you are supposed to enter or make entries for your employment details. And here the system is looking at your 1 year mandatory national service and 2 years working engineering experience. So that is that. And this is how the form looks like. Okay. All right. And so then the next page will be your continuous professional development. That will be on GhIE courses and seminars, and any other verifiable courses for your career advancement. And so that will also be entered at that page. Now, at the end of it all, so this is what the continuous professional development page looks like. You enter the course name, the course organizer, and then the location, and then the period, whether if it was a 1-day course or was it a number of days, or if it was a seminar. I understand that also participating in this pre-examination workshop also counts. I don't know if that's correct, Engineer Chair, if you can clarify that for me. Okay, so I would move on. So after this, then you'll be brought to the last page, which is where you upload your documents. So you'll be uploading your career report. You'll be uploading your engineering certificates, that is your school certificate, and then you'll be uploading a profile picture. Any background is allowed, but your face must be clearly shown in it, and it must be a portrait-sized picture. And so that is that. Now, this is how that page looks like. Okay, so you'd select your picture, you'd select your school certificates in PDF, please. The picture should be in JPEG, any acceptable picture formats, JPEG, PNG, and then the certificates and then the career reports would have to be in PDF. Okay. So when you are done, then you have completed your application. Now, if your application goes through, if the system accepts successfully, you would get an on-page notification that your application has gone through, and then you're also going to get an email. And so that was why I was stressing in the beginning that you need to have a working email address and then a working Ghanaian number. Right. After this, your application will be subjected to screening. And at the end of the screening process, if your application, at the end of the screening process, the status of your application will also be sent via email. So in the case where your application is successful and you get the success confirmation email, it will be followed by another email with instructions on how to make payments for your examination. Now, as I said beginning, the payments can be either made via Momo or your bank card. And payments confirmation is also done via email. Now, I'm going to spend some time here and explain a few things because sometimes people get confused here. So what happens is that you are not supposed to, you won't have to enter every field here. Once you enter your GhIE number, the form will automatically populate the rest of the fields for you. Now, when that happens, I would urge you to take a look at the payment summary column. You are supposed to see the name of the examination you are taking there, and then the amount, and then make sure everything tallies fine, right? Once that has been done, then you can click on the button to proceed to your payment selection. Then it will take you to a page where you would either select your Momo option or the bank card option, and then you complete it. So the next page is just like any other online checkout page that you've seen before or that you've experienced before. It is going to send an authorization request to your phone. Now, if you're on the page and it says it has sent the authorization request, assuming you're doing Momo, if you select Momo and then it says it has sent the authorization request, but you have not seen any pop-up on your phone, you have to go to your approvals and then approve the request from there. So it's just like any other payment experience that you've experienced before or you've seen before. For those who are going to use the bank cards, if it's Visa, it's going to send you a token also to your bank's email address for you to enter to complete the so it is going to send you an email address, a token via your email address for you to enter on the page and then for you to authorize the payment. Now, this is where, so after you've done that, you would get confirmation on the page saying your payment has gone through. However, a confirmation email will be sent to you later. So sometimes this can delay, especially for certain networks, especially for people doing Momo, and then especially for certain networks. Sometimes we do not immediately get value from our provider. And then when I say value, what it means is that we do not get confirmation from our provider that indeed your payment has gone through. Sometimes you can actually get a success confirmation on the page, but later your payments will not go through. And so the system does not immediately give value, and so we cannot proceed to process your account for you. So the main goal of the payments process is that after you are done, you are supposed to now get your GhIE or the trainee member account, and then you can proceed to process your payment. So the main goal of the payments process is that after you are done, you are supposed to now get your GhIE or the trainee member account, and then you can proceed to process your payment. So which you can use to schedule for both the written exam. I think this time around it's just the written exam. So which you can use to schedule for the written exam and also take the written exam. But if we do not get or we do not receive payment or confirmation from the provider that indeed your payment has gone through, we cannot go ahead to process it for you. Now, this is what can happen. It doesn't take more than 12 hours. At the end of, and for certain networks, at most 12 hours, but for certain networks, I think within the next hour or minutes, we should get confirmation. At the end, if we don't get confirmation within the next hour, we will wait. The system will actually wait for, say, 12 hours and then try again. At that point, it would know the actual status of the payment transaction. Then you know whether to try again with another method or another number. Yes, with another method or another number. So that is what happens here. So sometimes some of you get delayed account confirmation. So that is what happens in the background. Now, as I'm saying, the setup email is sent with a password after we have confirmed payments from our provider. And this email will come with instructions on how to enter your account. That will also be sent via email. And so please note that. Now we go to the crucial part of this presentation, and that is the written exam. Okay, so first of all, before you can actually attempt the written exams on that same account that you've been given access to after payment, instructions will come as to how to go about the scheduling. Once you schedule, then you would have to wait for the set date to take the written exam. Now, even on the account, when you go to examination, you will see the exam details at a glance. Please pay attention to the word count and then the duration for your exam. So based on what has been set, that might change. And so maybe you will think, because you heard it somewhere that it is so and so and so and so, that might not be the case at the time you're writing. So please take note of that. Also, please take note that the written exams is going to be AI proctored, and it is going to be monitored by humans as well. So this is what is going to happen. You might only have, say, a single physical invigilator present in the exam hall, maybe to guide you with the setup, internet access, or whatever you have. After that, he will exit the exam hall. Whatever you are going to do from the moment you press on start exam is being recorded. One, it is going to be recorded. The feed will be sent to an AI system, and that system will be monitoring and will be analyzing the feed that it is getting. So if it's seeing that, oh, you are turning your back, you are speaking to somebody, or you are turning and speaking to somebody, or you are talking in the exam hall, it is going to note that. It will alert us. Number two, there will be humans also monitoring the feed. This is a very common practice, as we've seen. Sometimes people will start the exam when they get to the exam hall, and then they click on start. They have access to their PC's environment as it was in the past. And so what you would see is that they will open whatever they have, whatever exam material they brought into the exam. Maybe it's already on their PC. Some even go as far as opening WhatsApp. Please note that whatever you do will be recorded. If at the end of the day, if it is determined that you were cheating, note that it would affect the outcome of your examination. And so for those of you, so the thing is that we also allow that flexibility because when we started rolling out with the AI system, we realized that we had device compatibility issues. And so if we were to implement a full lockdown on the trainee member's PC during the written exam and something should happen, we would have challenges ourselves. And so we allowed the flexibility of actually you having to write with your own browser. And for some people or for certain people, that will continue or that will be the case this year. However, for majority of you, you'll be using the new secure browser that has been provided by our vendors. And so what that browser does is that it is going to, once you click on start the exam, it is going to envelope your screen and it is going to lock down your screen. You will not be able to do anything on your screen until you have submitted your exam. So that is what it's going to do. At the same time, it will be monitoring your camera, it will be monitoring your microphone for audio and then video feed. And so if you're going to take the exam as a prerequisite, you would need to make sure that your PC has a camera and your PC has a microphone. The microphone now, we are not too strict on the microphone because we realize that sometimes most people come and then they are having these device driver compatibility issues. But once you are able to get a feed, that should be fine. However, you have to make sure that your machine or your system is up to date with the correct drivers. The personnel or the GhIE personnel, secretariat personnel present at the hall will assist you to get your machine ready for the exam. So that is what you should note. So the other thing, so then I'll go into details, the requirements again. So device compatibility. Also, we realized from last year's exam that most of the browsers, the new browsers, for example, Microsoft Edge comes with an AI companion. And so such browsers will not be allowed in the exam hall. Now, when you start and you want to, and you are asked to, or you are allowed to use your own browser, please note that it is only Chrome that will be permitted. If you do not have Chrome, then it means that we would have to give you, or you are going to use the secure browser, which is going to be in full lockdown mode. Also, all standard practice exam rules apply. You are not supposed to bring any foreign material to the exam center. You're not supposed to bring your mobile phone. You're not supposed to be having conversations in the exam room. Whatever you do will be recorded. At the end of the day, if the AI system flags you as somebody who had engaged in malpractice in the exam, that report will be sent and it can affect the outcome of your certification. So please take note. If you, I think last year, I think sometimes maybe they might be a bit lenient on the spell checker, but then again, it is not allowed. So please note that. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. I don't know if we are going to take the questions now or we'll take them during the Q&A. But in case you have any issues, please, there's a contact detail on the screen. You can pick it up. If you have any questions or any issues, you reach out to this contact. Thank you, and Engineer Chair.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sicho. Please hold on with your questions. We are not done with the presentation. And Engineer Sicho will ask that you continue staying online. Engineer Boama will complete the presentation and then we'll take all the questions in bulk. So please, those who have their hands raised, kindly hold on. Once the presentation is over, you'll be allowed to ask the questions.
Right. So having had a good background and appreciation of the structure of the institution, having seen the legal documents that back the operations of the institution, and having had a fair appreciation of the application process online, it's important to look at one key document that forms the basis for which you would be asked to proceed to write the examination or not, and that's the career report. And already we see in the chat box that people are asking questions about the career report. So we'll give you the full details about the career report here. The career report, in a summary, gives your career progression over the period. And so all your engineering practice over time, right from national service to date, when you are putting in the application, is what we call the career report. And it has a particular structure. I think a copy of the structure is on our website that you can access and use as a guide. But this career report should definitely have a cover page because it is talking about a particular individual's career progression. So a cover page, and the cover page should have your title, it should have your full name emphasis, because there can be a particular sample that applies to two or more other people. So your full name, your GhIE number, your current address emphasis, your telephone number, active telephone numbers, your email address, and your technical area of focus. We need all these information because we will be contacting you if there is anything that needs clarity on, etc. So you have to make available all active phone numbers, email addresses, current address, etc. With regards to the technical area of focus, which we also refer to as your specialization, it is important for us in the sense that, for instance, if you are with the civil technical division, under civil, we can have drainage, we can have structures, we can have pavement design, we can have geotech. So the specific area of specialization needs to be indicated on your career report. And once you do that, you also refer from your career report to confirm that or otherwise. We also need personal data for yourself, which would bear your full name, your date of birth, your sex, nationality, and business address. Your educational background is also important. So the name of school, dates attended, certificates awarded, year of award, etc. Because there have been instances where people provide us with certificates that are actually fake, and we verify all these. So the name of your school, the year of award, dates attended are all critical information we need on your career report. In addition to that, if you are affiliated to any professional institution, you will have to provide information on that. So by indicating the name of organization, your membership status, the date of the membership as well, important for us. Then you would also have to indicate a chronological report of your engineering career. And by this, you should give us the most current date first. So let's say from 2020 to date, you are a senior engineer with so and so firm. From 1990 to 2019, you were a trainee engineer in a certain firm. You need to provide us all that information. But you need to make sure the most current is first and then the others follow in that order. You should also provide us the statement of between 2,500 and 3,000 words that gives that career progression over the period. And we are also interested in any continuous professional development you have undertaken. Those are the courses you undertake as part of your training in your engineering field. So within the past 3 years, the ones you've undertaken, you need to share with us, because we are interested in knowing what courses you have also undertaken that supports your application to be considered to become a member of the institution. In addition to that, you give us details of your most important career experiences. Details of your most important career experiences. And under these details, you have to briefly mention the organization where you work
Hello, sorry for the interruption. Were you seeing the slides, please? Okay, so you saw from the first page. The slides are okay now.
Should we continue?
You probably have to start. Say.
No, please. No, can you start from the first? Okay, no problem. So, yeah.
Okay.
Right. Is it okay to start from here? Okay. So I did mention that one of the key documents we review that forms the basis to determine if you qualify to write the exam or not is your career report. And this career report, just as I said, gives a summary of your career progression over the period from your national service till date when you put in the application. And it's important for us because we have a team of professionals who will review the career report and make sure all the requirements are in there. The career report should have a cover page, it should have your personal data, it should have your educational background, and we need all this information. So on the cover page, your title, your full name, your GhIE number, your current address, your phone number, email address, and technical area of focus should be indicated. Your full name is very relevant. Your GhIE number, that is your unique number as registered in the institution, your current address, your active phone number, your email address, because we can't reach out to you via any of these mediums. And then your technical area of focus or your specialization, we need it as well, in the sense that, for instance, if you are with the civil technical division, civil is broad. We have under civil drainage, we have pavement, we have traffic and transport, we have highway, we have water and sanitation. So the specific area of focus needs to be indicated on the career report. And the examiners will review that as part of the review process. Your personal data, emphasis on personal data, full name, date of birth, sex, nationality, and business address. Then your educational background is also important, where you indicate the name of school, the dates attended, certificates awarded, year of award. And we request that you begin with the most current. If you have a Master of Science in a particular field, let that come first. Your BSc follows in that order, because we also do some background checks to confirm the validity of your certificate and the year of award, etc. We also are interested if you are affiliated to any other professional body. So you tell us the name of the organization, your membership status, and your date of membership. Then you give us a chronological report of your engineering career. This is a summary of where you've worked at over what period. So let's say from 2010 to 2025, you were a chief engineer at so and so firm. From 1990 to 2000, you were a trainee engineer at so and so firm. Give us a summary of all that and let the most current appear first. In addition to that, you provide us a statement that gives a summary of your career progression between 2,500 and 3,000 words. We want to see how you moved from one level to the other, just to be able to have a good sense of what you've been involved in. In addition to that, the courses you've undertaken, we want to know them. So for the past 3 years, which courses you've undertaken that have also added to your engineering profession, which we call the continuous professional development, is also important, because over time we need to upgrade, we need to learn more, we need to get used to best practices. And so we want to see what courses you have undertaken over the period. Another component of the career report is where you give us the details of your most important career experiences. Your most important career experiences. So as part of this portion of the career report, you talk about the organization where you work, your personal engagement, emphasis, personal engagement. And with respect to the organization, we need a name, the key focus of the business. If you have information of the number of engineers employed, the general structure of the firm, provide all that. Then the personal engagement, emphasis again in the sense that you may have been involved in a certain project of a certain magnitude. If you tell us or you give us information of activities you were not involved in, you open yourself up for several questions in those areas. So just tell us what your personal engagement on that project has been. So you give us the outline of the work you were engaged in, your position on that assignment, who your supervisor was, the key responsibilities you were involved in when you undertook that assignment, and the relationship with other people of similar rank. You need to provide that information. If it was in the area of research, you can list the publications, the reports, and the patents, etc. We'll take a look at it. And if there are any important designs in them, you have to provide the details as well. Then you also have to provide the details of the activities. So when you are computing the details of activities, we want to have a good understanding of your practice and your engagement in engineering. And it can be in the area of planning, design, construction, testing, commissioning, installation, fabrication, maintenance, sales of engineering products, operations, research. Anything that is engineering related, we want to know what you have been involved in. Whilst doing that, we should also know what standards or codes or manuals or handbooks you usually refer from. We would also want to see how you have a good appreciation of health and safety and environmental standards as you apply to your area of work. We are also interested to see if your activities are in compliance with the code of ethics of the institution. And then as part of that, you indicate the major challenge and any lessons you learned for each of the projects you give us. So in summary, if you are listing about 4 or 5 projects, for each one, you give us the details where you talk about the practice and understanding, the use of the codes, the applications in health, safety, compliance, and then challenges or lessons learned. Once that is done, just as I said, there are a team of professionals who would review your career reports, and if they meet all the requirements, they will qualify you to write the exam. If not, then you will have to review the career report and do another application. We have a structure of the career report on our website, so you can access it and take a good look at. So now, the professional examination, just as Engineer Chair indicated from the onset, the examinations have been structured under the Civil Engineering Professional Examination, EPE, or the Mechanical/Agric, or the Electrical/Electronic, or the Chemical/Mining. So for now, these are the 4 key divisions we have, and so the examination for which you want to write would fall under any of these categories. For the examination, we usually write them 3 times in a year. So we have the April-May, which has been concluded. So the one we are currently working on is the July-August. And for those who may not be ready now, there is an opportunity for October-November. There are instances where we also have a special regional or institutional examination where some entities can organize themselves in a minimum of maybe 20 people or more, and then the team will be deployed to examine them and their documentation. As part of the exam, we also constitute a panel. So each of you will be assigned to a particular panel depending on your technical area, and you have a minimum of 3 professional engineers on each panel who would ask you questions based on what you've been involved in, based on your career report and presentation. So now, this is the time schedule for this year's exam. And you would realize that for each of the schedules, be it March, April, be it July, August, be it October, November, the activities under each of these schedules remain the same, where you have the pre-examination workshop, which is virtual. And once that is completed, the examination portal is open so that you can put in your career report or submit them for review. When the career reports are reviewed and you are given the green light, then the examination starts. So we begin with the written examination for Accra, and then the other branches will also follow. And once we are done with the written, we move on to the oral examination. Next. So Engineer Chair will briefly describe this, and then I'll continue from there.
All right, so thank you very much. In terms of the assessment, how we are going to assess you, the examination, as was explained earlier on, has been categorized under 3 sessions. So we have the technical review, which constitutes 40%. We have the general interview, which is 30%, and then you write an essay on its, we call it Engineering Society. Essentially, to pass this exam, you should obtain 50% or more for each of the sessions. Each of the 3 sessions, you should obtain 50% or more to pass. However, you will be deferred if you fall under any of these categories. If you obtain 50% or more overall score, okay, i.e., you may fail in one of the categories, one of the 3 examination categories, but overall you may have obtained 50% overall score, you will be deferred. If you also obtain 50% or more for the technical review and any other components, will also defer you. And then if you obtain less than 50% in one of the components, again, you will be deferred. You risk it only, essentially, when you are coming back, you are going to risk it only the components that you failed. Next slide.
Okay, I'm continuing. So in summary, what Engineer Chair is saying as per the assessment criteria is, you see the technical has a score of 40%. The technical is very critical. And so if you fail the technical, you fail the examination in its entirety. If you fail both the general and the essay, which is 60%, again, you have failed the examination in its entirety. If you fail only the essay, you have an opportunity to write only the essay. And if you fail only the general, then again, you have failed the examination. And so it is our expectation that we will all go according to the requirements and be well prepared to take the examination so that we pass. So a focus on the technical review. It's you are going to give us a 10-minute presentation, And the presentation should have a specific project you have been involved in, for which you can adequately speak to the content of the project from beginning to end. You should be able to tell us the key activities you undertook and the processes that were involved or the specific tasks. Everything should be detailed. And please, let's use this to advise. This oral interview is virtual. And based on experience, we've realized that candidates prepare presentations that are like 30 slides, which do not fit within the 10-minute duration. That is not appropriate. Candidates also do not rehearse over their presentations, and so they come and they are fumbling. Candidates do not test their virtual systems to be able to know how to share their screen, and so they come and they are fumbling. So we want to encourage that you rehearse all these ahead of time so that on the day of the examination, you are in a good position to go through the process. The presentation will, once you are done with the presentation, your panelists would also ask you a few questions just to be able to ensure that you undertook the program and you are very conversant with all the activities you undertook. For a general interview, we also are interested in your practice and understanding of engineering, like I said, in the area of design, construction, fabrication, planning, production, testing, commissioning, installation. We want to be able to see from the presentation how you've applied the standards, the manuals, handbooks, your health and safety components should be well addressed, the code of ethics. And because you work in an environment which has a direct bearing on society, you should have a good appreciation of the current affairs that have dominated your space over a period. So we would ask you a few questions in the area of current affairs just to see how you are not only engineering minded, but you're also interested in other things around you. Once you do all these, we have a scoring guide that has been structured properly, and based on that, we give various marks. So we are interested in your communication skills. We look at the content of your career report, and we also assess your engineering practice and experience. With regards to your communication skills, how you communicate whilst presenting and answering your questions, we are interested in your interpersonal skills and the use of the technical terminology. This is a professional engineering examination, and so we want to see per your area of practice the various technical terminologies you use. In your career report, we will look at how you've presented the career report, the content of your career report, and grammar. Because whereas you are an engineer, you would also be writing reports for consideration, and so we are interested in your diction, your choice of words, your spelling, etc. And under the engineering practice and experience, health, safety, and environment, very critical. Your ethics and relationship with society is another area we are interested in. The standards, the manuals, the handbooks. We are not saying chew all of them, but you know what standard or manual to refer to for what kind of design we want to see. Current affairs, engineering practice, all these are going to be scored. And so we encourage you to take note of them. So the marks allocation have been given, and the examiners would score you based on how you perform during the examination. And usually it's between 20 to 30 minutes. There is the written examination. And although we call it written, it doesn't mean you are going to write. Technology has advanced over the period. Some years back we were writing, but now you have the privilege to type them. And you should be able to type a minimum of 1,500 words on an essay topic. About 6 topics will be given on a wide range of community and management issues, and then you choose one. And we expect that the one you choose, you respond to the question using your field of experience. A typical example, maybe you've been given an essay that talks about how data helps in engineering practice, blah, blah, blah. And then you are asked to discuss. If you are a mechanical engineer, what data do you gather to be able to help you practice? If you are a civil or a transportation engineer, we want to know. So your area of experience is required to be able to respond to the essay. And whilst you are writing the essay, you should be able to demonstrate your ability to write clear and concise English. You should have a good understanding of the role of the engineer in society and the social value of your work to society. You should also be able to demonstrate a good understanding of management concepts that are required by potential leaders in engineering practice. And once you do this, we score you. So again, this is a grading system for the written examination that has been properly structured. And so we are interested in how you present your point and the language, and under that, the general layout, the sequence and logic, and your diction or the English usage. We are interested in all that. The sequence is very critical. You don't talk about a particular variable and then you switch to another and then come back to address a different variable. It should follow in a logical manner. We also want to have you being able to treat the subject clearly, 70%. So you should have a good understanding of the question, how your ideas benefit society, and you should also be able to demonstrate your personal experience in the treatment of the subject you are talking about. And so we have just displayed some typical questions, and the rest of the questions are displayed on our website, but these are some typical ones. We are not saying they will come, we don't know. And so let's randomly choose any. Maybe it says lack of good maintenance culture and practices have been blamed for the rapid deterioration of the nation's assets. Discuss ways to address this deficiency. I think it's relatively easier depending on your area of specialization to apply in this area of maintenance culture. Maybe another one says select an engineering operation you are familiar with. List the possible incidents and accidents that occur. Discuss the causes and preventive measures while highlighting the concept of hazard identification and risk assessment. So when preparing for the written exam, be open-minded. Remember all that you've studied and how you apply them. Think about any engineering operation happening around you, and then choose one out of the 6 questions that will be displayed, and you should be fine. The next slide also gives an example of some of the typical questions. It talks about prevalence of fire in private and public buildings, which has become a source of worry. How can we ensure public safety and prevent loss of lives and properties through such outbreaks? And you are asked to discuss the role of engineering in planning, design, construction, and maintenance of such properties. So you realize that in the question, there are keywords, and in discussing the role of the engineering, you are being guided to consider planning, design, construction, and maintenance. And so all these are key terminologies you should think of whilst putting your essay together. Another one, discuss the importance of social and environmental impact assessment of public work projects and how this can be considered in the evaluation of the merits or demerits of such projects. The next slide also gives some typical questions. Let's say, compare the advantages and disadvantages of financing infrastructure development from public and private sources. A very good and interesting one. Who knows? So we are providing these not to say, go and master all of them, but at least have a cursory look. Who knows? The particular one you've given a careful thought of may come, and you can put something down for consideration. So once the written exams and the oral exams are complete, these would be assessed by competent professionals in the specific technical divisions, and they would score you appropriately based on how you perform. And the panel members will submit all the scores to the respective chairpersons of the panels, which means for each panel, there will be a chair. So if we are looking at civil and there are 20 panels, there will be 20 chairs. And so each panel member will submit their scores to the panel chairs. And the divisional subcommittee chairperson would also collate the results and submit to the membership committee. The membership committee would also review all the results. And if we talk about the membership committee, it encompasses the civil, the agric, the mechanical, all of us. So the membership committee will do a thorough review of the results and make some recommendations to council for approval. Once this is done, engineer chair of the membership committee will present the results to council for approval. And if council approves the results, then bingo, you are close to your destiny of becoming a member of the institution. So once council approves, then you will be notified, and these are the notification procedures. The results will be published in the institution's newsletter and our website for any written objection within 30 days. Maybe a particular candidate did not truly satisfy all the requirements, and someone knows, the person can write and say, no, this person doesn't qualify for consideration. So take a second look at his examination. The executive director will also formally write to the candidates admitting those who are successful, subject to the payment of the prescribed subscription and other fees. And so once you are successful, you need to fulfill all obligations by paying the subscription fees. And once you are done, the executive director will write to you formally. For candidates who are not successful, you would also be notified by the executive director. And in your notification, there will be an indication of the areas where you fell short, and you'll be given some guidelines as to how to proceed. In some instances, you'll be asked to contact a particular person or group of persons to mentor you and to guide you and shape you further so that you can re-sit the examination. Once all this is done, you are not done. There is an official ceremony that more or less may conclude the process of admitting you into the institution. And this is very critical for us. We expect that you come for this program in person, but if for any reason you are out of the jurisdiction, you are given the opportunity to join virtually. But when it comes to a particular activity which has to do with the engineer's oath, you have to come and swear it before you are given your certificate and other documents. So this is a public ceremony for all successful candidates. We conduct it twice a year, and each of you will have to take what we call the engineer's oath, and you'll be given a certificate of membership, and you would also be inducted, provided you have an official notification by the executive director, you have paid all the prescribed induction fees, and you have submitted a recent passport photography. So what is next? After your payment is successful, no, I think we've gone through this. Yes, we've gone through this. Engineer Sichu covered this in his. Okay, so a few tidbits. Know that the panel placements are very automatic, randomly, and it is based on the area of specialty you choose. You may have worked under a particular engineer. It's not automatic that you have that person be on your panel. The panel details would also be emailed to you by the institution, indicating the date of your interview. After your payment is successful and has been confirmed by the system, your account will be set up, your credentials will be given, and then you can access the account. Upon accessing your account, you kindly select your schedules for both the oral and written exam on your account. It's also important that you ensure all the necessary protocols are observed. We would just add that if you have any issues once you are going through this process, get in touch with the institution. And please, on the day of the oral examination, when you are logging into the Zoom account, please indicate your full name and your GhIE number. There are times when people join, you see iPhone 5 or a nickname, Skype or Yo-Yo or Abbas IT. Please, as per the records of the institution, we can identify you by your full name and your GhIE number. And so ensure all these are done. And Engineer Sichu emphasized on the fact that when you select your sponsors and your supporters, it is your responsibility to notify them or get in touch with them so that they approve your application. Because when we go through the documentations and you don't have a sponsor, you don't have a supporter, your application will be deemed null and void. And so we want you to take full responsibility of the application process and contact your sponsors and supporters to approve of your candidature. Thank you very much. And at this stage, if there are any questions, the team is here to speak to them. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we have to give a round of applause to Engineer Chair. This has been a long CICHO online and Engineer Buama here. Thank you so much. It's time for okay. Engineer Vice President, are you online, please? Can you hear us? Everybody's on mute. If you can hear us, kindly unmute yourself and
Hello.
okay. So online we have Engineer Dr. Patrick McQueen. He's the immediate past chair of the membership committee and currently the vice president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering. Some people were clapping virtually. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
All right, thank you for having me, and thank you for the good work you're doing, you and your team, Engineer Chair, and the rest of the team over there. Thank you, Juliet. I think I'm very excited even to see the numbers who have joined online, and so yearning to be part of our institution. And I hope and pray that all of you become full members of our institution. And I wish all of you good luck. I've been listening in, and I believe with the few questions I can say a lot of questions rather, a lot of questions online. The team there will answer the questions for you, and we'll move on. Hopefully in the next few months where you become full members of our institution. Thank you for having me, and keep the good work you are doing on. All the best.
Thank you so much, Engineer Vice President, past chair of the membership committee. So we will go on. Please, we acknowledge the presence of any council members, any members of our institution who have logged in. Thank you for joining us. We will move right away to questions and answers. We've seen a few have been answered. Some came directly. If you have any questions, we have some time to answer. So we will start with some were typed earlier. But we'll just go in the. Okay, so it's this one that hasn't been answered yet. It's from Stephen Aisiado. It says, if you are more engaged in project management roles, managing multidisciplines, what division will be best? So Stephen, the institution recognizes the interdisciplinary nature of the practice of engineering now. So at the time of your application, whichever division you are more leaned towards, for instance, for renewable energy, there's a solar bit, and there's also the mechanical engineering bit, which may be waste management. So at the time of your application, whichever of the technical divisions best suits what you are working on, because that's what will reflect in your career report as well, and that is what you'll be interviewed on. So whichever discipline you are more lean towards will best suit your application. Thank you. So I'll go more Budu Asa, Sifas, Egbe Pome, and also answer.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Sifas here.
Okay, please let's go in order. Let's take Maud first, and then after Maud, Budu Asa. Kindly
Thank
make
you.
your questions precise, and then if your question is asked already, please do not repeat it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Please, I was noting down the questions as the presentation was going on. And so I have a number of them, if you would allow me. The first one is, you mentioned something about a master craftsman, like someone who doesn't have any education qualification, but then the person practices. And so after years of experience, the person can be given the engineering status or something like that. Please, the process of the person gaining experience, is it not in violation of the LI, the Engineering Act? The Engineering Act. And then my next question, and please, on the membership portal, which was recently sent to our email, there's a field for, when you sign in, there's a field for career report. Is there a tie in between the GhIE exam portal and then the membership portal? And so if you submit on the membership portal, will it reflect, or would you do the tie-in from your end? Also, is there an instance where GhIE supplies PCs or laptops at a fee so that we don't have to use our own PCs or laptops? And then with the current appreciation of the cedi, should we kindly expect reduction in the examination cost? Please, and then yes, I think the last question has been asked. But then for civil, for instance, we do drainage, geotech, and then for young engineers like us, we're exposed to almost all of them. And so which one do we state that we've been exposed to? Thank you.
Okay, so maybe let's start with the master craftsman occupational group. So if you look at the route to becoming a master, an engineering craftsman, we say that you should have, in terms of your qualification, you should have converts. Okay, so your academic qualification there should be converts. And then you apply to become a trainee engineering craftsman, and should have 4 years practical training. So the Act already recognized engineering craftsmen as a practitioner. So remember, we indicated that we are not only registering people with HND and bachelor degree, we are registering even once you are in the practice of engineering, there is an occupational group for you. So it is not in violation of the Act at all. There is a certain qualification and experience you need to fulfill for you to be categorized as an engineering craftsman. Now, the other
there was a question about the laptops. What we encourage is you come along with your own laptops. However, for those who for one reason or the other are unable to or do not have, the institution will provide you with a laptop. But as much as possible, bring yours, because if we have about 50 candidates writing at a go, we may not be able to provide all 50. So you come with yours, and for those who do not have, we would make provision. With respect to the reduction of the fees based on the appreciation of the cedi against the dollar, the registration fees and application fees have already been published. And so once it's been published, it means it's already been approved by council. And so for this current one, I don't think there could be any reduction in the fees. But
and they were published in cities.
Yes, they were published in cities, right?
So appreciation doesn't affect it.
Exactly. Thank you.
However, if anybody needs a payment plan, kindly let us know. So you have these 2 weeks. Some of you have been TPEs with unpaid subscription since up to 2019. So that's about 6 years accumulated. If you have any special cases, kindly send an email to membership. But there's a payment plan. You could pay in bits and then just record with your GhIE number. Accounts will take note of it, and then your bill reduces. Hopefully, in the next 2 weeks, everybody will be up to zero, even those who want to write and join in November, so that we clear those debts. Thank you.
Then with respect to the career report, during Engineer Sicho's presentation, you will be given a particular link. Please use that link and then upload your career report there, okay? Because that's the application process. So go strictly to the link you be provided when putting in the application and upload your career report there.
Thank you so
Chair.
much.
Engineer Chair, can I come in?
Please, Engineer Shakud. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, engineers. I just wanted to add a little bit to the part on the violation. The thing is that a lot of people are already in violation due to the peculiar nature in which our laws were set up. The Act at 819 was promulgated in 2011, and the LI came almost 9 years later in 2020. So between the time the Act was promulgated and the enforcement LI, that's almost 9-year lag. Obviously, everybody who was practicing that during that period without any licenses, you couldn't enforce and you couldn't prevent people from actually practicing. So obviously in the engineering practice, there's a lot of current violations, but we are unable to enforce it because of those lag in the laws. So somehow you might find that people are in the private, whether they are craftsmen, they are professional engineers, there's still quite a lot of people out there who are not aware for some reason because of these things. So yeah, you might find a few people who you think are in violation, but once you didn't have an LI to enforce it, can you really say they are in violation? So we have that bit to also deal with. But these processes that we are going through, this current examination, and then educating our communities or our practitioners in the field to come join is the only way we can get everybody in. So we expect that everybody who is on this call, please, it's part of your role as engineers to advocate for those who are not members to try and get in so that we help everybody to become real licensed or certified. Okay, thank you very much, Chair.
Right, all right. And please upload your career reports in PDF format.
Okay, Bismarck, please.
Oh. Can I ask the question?
Is this
Hello.
Uju Aka?
Hello.
Bismarck.
Yes, Bismarck. Hello, my name is Bismarck from Bolga. Yes, so earlier this year, I think in March, I registered to write mine in Tamale. But then I went there and then there was no show. And I called Richie and he told me that we were just two who registered to write in Tamale. And so it had been cancelled or something like that. So I'm just wondering, how can I move my whole process? So from the process of getting my TPE to my career report being approved, to be able to write it in Accra or say Kumasi or something. Because I don't want to risk writing, say I'm writing in Tamale and then I'll get there and then something similar will happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Bismarck. Richie's number was shared. Kindly let's talk about this after. Let's take a few more questions that would apply to
Engineer Chair, can I come in?
Engineer Shakud wants to.
Okay, Engineer Shakud, kindly.
Yes, I think the other part about the way, even though we're accepting everybody, is essential as in the chair of the branch, I don't know you. And then you went through the whole process and then you just show up at the venue. Yeah. This just shows, you understand, I am the chair, you just went online, registered, you don't know where is the venue, and you should contact, there is a membership and there's a branch, which means that your branch doesn't even know you. The branch doesn't know you. Yeah. So I don't know, normally we would have, the part of the process used to be that even your career report will pass through your branch if you are doing it through the branch, or at least the technical head. But perhaps it didn't go through any of them and it was approved for you to write the exam because we would have I being here, I didn't know, I don't know you. And then you come to Tamale to write the exam. I'm the one organizing, I don't know you, and I don't know you don't know the venue. So essentially, it behoves of us that we should know who the branch chairs, where you are going to write. If the branch is organizing it for you, you should definitely try and know the people involved. Otherwise, it's not like we are a fraternity. It's not, in an informal thing, you write and go. We are a fraternity. So it is important that we play as such, okay? It is true that the last time we didn't organize because we didn't tell the head HQ that if we don't get up to 10 people, it is expensive to organize. So if we can get a sizable now, because normally when I handle, since I've been handling the exams in Tamale, I don't charge anybody for it. And if we don't get support from HQ, and it is just two of you, I'll be spending like 3,000 cedis to organize it for you. And I'm not going to get reimbursed. It's the reason why I didn't do it this time. Normally, I'll hold it for even 5 people. But obviously, if you had communicated, perhaps we could have arranged something. But obviously, once we didn't get the numbers, we communicated to those who were going to write that we don't have the numbers and therefore we'll postpone it to June. And we said, even in June, if you don't get the 10, we will send it to November. But in case we are able to come to an arrangement to meet the cost for running it at the branch level, if we get 5 people, we'll organize it. And that's where we are. As you speak, I don't know you. And we are in June already, okay? And I only have about 3 people, at least those that I know the last time we were supposed to write, and we postponed it. So maybe, yeah, we still have an opportunity to do internally if we can get a number. So maybe after this, if the membership director looks and we have sufficient numbers, we can still hold it internally. But otherwise, if the cost is too much beyond what we can handle, then we could transfer you to another branch to write, okay? Thank you.
Hello. 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 Yeah, please, my name is Richard Opon. Last year, during the technical exams, oral examination, I had
Richard,
challenges.
can you hold us?
Hello, Richard.
Hello.
Hello, Richard. Hold on. There are so many people who have their hands up. Let's go systematically.
Okay.
So, perfect. I got the
Can I proceed?
Hello.
Engineer Chair, good evening.
Yeah. Please let your question be brief. Okay, substance and then.
Okay. Thank you very much. As rightly said, my name is Perfect Agodoku. My first question is, please, what's the duration for the exams? The duration for the exams, the written one. Because we are going to type, it's not a written one. So what's the duration? Is it 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours?
Yeah.
And secondly, during the presentation, that's the interview. The presentation that we are going to do, should we add pictures to it? And if there's no pictures that you can get, because how are we going to write the presentation and deliver in 10 minutes? Is it normal presentation that we can type and just come and present, or we need to add some videos and pictures? And if we don't have pictures and videos, what should we do? And lastly, what is the fee for the exams? The fee for the exams. That's my last question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So typically the written exam takes about 3 hours. Richard, am I right? So you are given about 3 hours to write the written
Yes,
exam.
Engineer Chair, it's 3 hours.
Yeah, oftentimes you realize that the 3 hours is even too much for you. Now regarding the presentation, as it is with any, you need to give us a detailed presentation. If adding pictures would make whatever you are presenting clear to the panel members, that's it. In fact, we recommend that you add pictures. If it's a project you supervise, then it's incumbent on you to show pictures of the works that have been undertaken. Is that okay? So yes, if you need to add pictures, add pictures. it's highly recommended.
But it's not compulsory because all my features have been corrupted.
Well, so like I said, it depends on what you are going to present. But if it's a project, for instance, you are presenting, I think the panel members will be more interested in having a pictorial, you understand, rather than just showing them words and figures they may not be able to relate to. So, yeah, you have a peculiar problem, but I'm just saying that with a presentation, you want to show, come with your best foot, and showing pictures is part of it. For your last question about the fees, you want to know whether we can do anything about the fees.
No, I'm asking about the amount of the.
Or the amount.
Yeah.
For the examination.
We've shared the fees on the chat box. If you can make reference to the chat box, how much is it?
Okay, we'll confirm the fees, but
Hello,
an email
Engineer Chair.
address and the contact number.
Hello, Engineer Chair.
Yes,
Yeah, Rich.
Yeah, so the fee is 1,000, but because we have a third party who does the who help with the online payment. Normally 1,030 on the portal. When you're making payment, 1,030 cedis on the portal.
All right. Thank you very much. Perfect.
You're welcome.
Let's move on to the next person. Cephas.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Cephas.
Yes, hello. So my question is that my question is a very okay. Let me put it this way. I finished engineering. I did agricultural engineering, and right after that, I did my master's, and I've been working in the policy arena, or let's say I'm in parliament anyway, as a research officer. So what I've been doing is not, I wouldn't say is direct application of my engineering principles per se. What you have presented and the presentation of the report, the career report, and all those things doesn't feature somebody who has been in the policy arena, even though he's a qualified engineer. But we are interested in joining our institution because we feel it's for us. I don't know whether there's room for us because we may not be able to write anything concerning safety, design, and planning. The only time maybe perhaps I've been involved in some level of engineering is when we have to procure a generator and they know there's an engineer there, so you should join the group. And then it's not like we buy generator very often. It's just once in a while and then some other cases. So I don't know whether you have room for us. So that's my question.
Thank you very much. For now, Cephas, I would like that you still go ahead and submit your application. The committee will review, and upon review, we will look at whether there are several categories that you said you have a background, you have academic background in.
Yes, I've done agricultural engineering in tech.
But essentially, you are not practicing. So
yes.
The committee will look into it, whether you fit into companion membership or otherwise, but it will be determined by the committee. So still go ahead and submit your application, and we'll take a decision. That will be it.
Engineer Chair.
Companion membership.
Judith, Charles, please hold on. People are asking if they can add pictures to their career reports. Yes, you can have a gallery of pictures so long as they speak to the technical content of the career report, a particular work-related activity. Okay.
All right. Mr.
So excuse me. So companions are not engineers. Is that what you mean? After I finish my degree, BSc in engineering, agriculture engineering specifically, I cannot be called engineer. If I go through the process.
What I'll say for now is, Mr. Cephas, submit and let's review your application.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
we'll make a decision.
All
Okay.
right.
Actually, I think we skipped. Cut down. There was a Mr. Budu.
Yes, so good evening. Thank you very much. I have a question concerning the registration. I actually joined this section for the April-May. I went through this similar session, but during the registration, I had a challenge. There was a portion I had to fill my date of birth, but that portion was blank, and I was not given the opportunity to edit that portion. So I reached out to your technical team. I even called, sent a mail to help me with filling that form, but I think they were not able to assist and the deadline was due. So right now we are in a new session. I wanted to find out if there's a way I could go about it quickly, because I realized that the other time I was delayed. So if you can help me on that one. There's a point I have to fill my date of birth, but when you click, it doesn't allow you to make the entry.
Okay, please, an email address has been posted in the chat box. We will kindly request that you send, if you have any peculiar request in respect of all these, please send an email to those addresses and look at them and advise accordingly, okay? So that we can take other questions. The hands up are many. So if you have peculiar cases, just as you did highlight, please just send those requests to the email address and we'll look at all of them in record time.
And please, if you are done asking the question, let your hand be down. And then if there is anyone whose question also has been asked by another person. All right, Mr. Uso answer.
Yes, good evening. Please, I participated in the exams in 2023. Unfortunately, I failed the oral exams for a reason I can't say. So I brought it forward to the chairman, the former chairman, Engineer Dr. Bequin, and he told me there was going to be an investigation. So he later told me earlier this year that they were going to have a special oral exam for me, but nothing has happened. And I presented on QA/QC in construction. But one thing I realized was that the panel for my presentation, majority of them didn't have much understanding on what I presented. So it was a bit confusing. And I ended up failing the presentation. So since 2023.
Also,
Yes, sir.
please send the specific information to the email address juliet.gomita@ghi.org.gh. Okay, we'll take a good look at it and yeah. So when you send, indicate your contact number. Okay.
Yes, please.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Stephen.
Yeah, hello. Good evening. Please confirm if you can hear me.
We can hear you. Kindly go
All right.
ahead.
Thank you. So my question was about the sponsors. Do we need to know them before we can reach out to them to confirm us during the application?
All right, thank you very much, Stephen. This is an important question you asked. The membership committee has taken a decision that all applicants owe it a responsibility to make sure that they follow up with their sponsors so that the sponsors append their signature to the applications. But over the years, we overlook these things, but from hence, we are going to be strict on that to ensure that whoever is sponsoring you, you follow up from that person for the person to append a signature or confirm your application. This is a decision of membership committee, and that is what is going to stand. So yes, applicants hold that responsibility to do that. Thank you very much.
Stephen, in addition to that, once a person is appending his or her signature, also, please mute. Indirectly, the person is taking a certain responsibility on your application. So the person should know you. The person should have an idea what you do or which area of engineering practice you are in, etc. Okay, so it's very critical. Your sponsor, your supporter, and all those ones, yes. So please, let's take note of that.
All right, thank you, Francis.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stephen, your hand down, Francis.
Okay, thank you. I have 3 questions. My first question is that I tried applying earlier this year, and for some personal reasons, I couldn't write the exam. However, when I was filling the online form, I realized that for the MSc courses, it wasn't all MSc courses that were an option for me to choose from. Let's say I have an MSc in geophysical engineering, but it didn't appear as, wow. I have an MSc geophysical engineering, but it didn't appear as an option for me to choose from. So I was wondering if that can be fixed in the portal, where the list of degree and MSc courses are updated to reflect what we have out there. And my second question also is that with regards to the disciplines under the various divisions, is there any site or section that we can know the various disciplines so that you can choose the exact discipline that you are supposed to be affiliated to? Thank you. I think that's about. And my last question is with regards to the proposers. When I was applying earlier this year, I realized that there was a predetermined list in the portal. And when I tried to input the GhIE numbers of some people that I knew personally, they didn't come. So how then is it going to be possible for us to contact the people that we are supposed to? Thank you.
All right, Sicho, can you take the first question for me?
Sorry, I would like to hear the first question, if that's not an issue.
My first question is that when I was applying earlier in the year in the portal, I realized that for the MSc courses, it wasn't every MSc course that was there for us to choose as an option. I did an MSc in geophysical engineering, but it wasn't an option for me to choose from. So can the list be updated to reflect the various courses that we have out there? Thank you.
Oh, okay. You would need to send the name of that particular course. There's a list we get from the institution on the specific courses we are supposed to upload. And so if it happens that maybe it's also part, or I can just verify for you. If it's supposed to be added to the list, then we'll do that. If not, then I'll raise it up for them to look at it again.
So I send it to your email, right, to clarify, or to Richie?
Yes, please send every query you have to Richie.
Thank you.
Hello, Switcher.
Hello.
My other question.
Yeah, Switcher, there used to be an option to for other, so that if it is not on the list, they can just fill in the order to be checked by the membership committee. I don't know whether currently that option is missing.
Yes, I think it was taken out because people will enter non-accredited, I think, courses or so, and institutions. So the list we have is actually verified. And so the only thing I'll do, once you realize that your school or your course is not in the list for you to select from, just notify the institution. We'll just check if it's accredited. We'll add it and then we'll notify you for you to continue your application. That should be fine.
Okay.
All right, Francis, please, are you okay?
Yes, for the first question, I am okay.
What was your second question?
My second question.
I think I heard something on the proposers and sponsors. I would like to quickly take that and clarify.
Yeah.
So that list, you can't edit the list. You can only select from the list. So if you realize that the person you want to select or the person you want to add to your application is not there, again, you need to reach out. There would be a reason why he or his or her name is not on the list. Okay, so you won't be able to enter any GhIE number for anybody. You only see their names and then you select them.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Richard, you want to make an input kindly before we proceed?
Richard the champion.
Hello, Engineer Chair.
Yeah.
I was off a bit. If the question can be asked again, please.
No, you wanted to make an input with regards to career report.
Yes. So this is in regards to adding pictures to the career report. It is acceptable, but the system actually doesn't accept any document more than 1 megabyte, a PDF document. And the more you add pictures, the more the size, becomes big. So what I normally advise is you can add pictures, but after adding them, kindly reduce the size of the document. It shouldn't be more than 1 megabyte. Because of the number of career reports we receive. So,
right.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, Richie.
Yeah, so this is because we receive a number of career reports, and if we increase the size to more than 1 megabyte, we end up flooding our cloud space with a lot of career reports. So that is why we have to reduce the size to 1 megabyte, maximum 1 megabyte. So if you want to add pictures, it's fine, but kindly reduce the size. Otherwise, we'll have complaints of I'm not able to upload them, and it's because of the size. And this applies to the certificates and pictures as well. It shouldn't be more than 1 megabyte.
Great. All right. Thank you very much, Richard.
Please, my last question hasn't been answered. My last question.
You said your last question has not been answered.
Yes. My last question was that where can we know the various disciplines under the various divisions so that you can make an exact choice when filling the career report?
Where can we?
I mean,
what's your discipline? If I may ask.
Sorry, can you come again?
What was your discipline?
Quality assurance and quality control. I don't have a problem. I'm saying that is there a specific list that you have so that someone can choose from within, just as we have for the divisions? For the disciplines within the division.
For the specialties, you need to tell us, you need to indicate the specialty that you want us to examine you on.
Okay, so it can be anything at all. You don't have an expected list.
Yes, you have to tell us the specialty, your area of practice, so that
perfect.
We examine you on that.
Perfect, thank you.
In the chat box, there's a question that says, can the sponsors and supporters who are not in good standing be added to the list? We want everybody to be in good standing, and so we can't be promoting our members who are not in good standing to be added to the list. So please, let's ensure we are all in good standing.
Engineer Chair. Hello.
Charles.
Yeah,
Yes,
you know, who is that? Hold on, we are going systematically, and we have a lot of hands up. Please, we may, otherwise we'll not sleep here today. Let me ask Dr. Kufiata to ask his question. And I think if some of you can also put your questions in the chat box so that we answer them whilst we are.
I put my question in the chat box, but I've not had a response to it. Moreover, some of the questions that have been asked, I've not also seen someone ask similar questions as mine.
Okay, so you hold on. Dr. Kufiata, go ahead and ask your question.
Thanks for the opportunity. My question is, what has been the institution's policy towards engineers trained in Ghana but licensed in other jurisdictions if they want to become members of the GhIE?
All right, thank you very much, Doc. So what happens is, if you are a professional member elsewhere in another country, the policy is that you still will apply, and you still want to apply to become a member. What we'll normally do is that we'll look at your application, make sure that wherever you are a member of, that membership is acceptable to us. And then we waive the written examination for you, but you will still go through the oral examination. So that has been the policy. Council will look at where you are a member of. If we accept that the professional membership there is acceptable, we'll waive for you to forfeit the written examination, but you will still take you through the oral examination. Thank you very much. Collins, I thought you already asked your question.
Not yet, Engineer.
Okay, kindly go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Engineer Chair. My question borders on the payment. The WhatsApp, what do you call it? Sorry, the Momo payment model. I heard Engineer Sito in his presentation say that the Momo delays the process a bit. So I want to ask if one can easily get access to the secretariat, can he move in to do cash payment at the secretariat? And then this next question is about mature candidates. Can I have a recap to see whether some of us qualify in the mature candidates? And then the third one is to find out the difference between president and then president-elect as exists in the executive committee. I think Engineer Chair indicated that. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start from the bottom. So per constitution, the president elects, I mean, when we have an election, during an election year, we elect a president. When you come, you don't take over immediately. So that person, you only become a president-elect under some sort of tutelage. And then after 2 years is when you assume your presidency. So our current president was president-elect 2 years ago. So that's the clarification, and that's how we do our stuff here. Now about, yes, we accept cash payments. So you can come in here and then we'll accept your payments. And then the mature students were saying, the matured members were saying that for applicants who they don't have a background in engineering, but they have practiced whatever they have been doing in terms of practice over the years is in engineering. Some of them actually, they have even trained those who are quote and unquote have the qualification. You understand? If those people are more than 40 years, we consider them matured. So they may not have the educational qualification, but they are they have trained a lot of people, they are practicing engineering, and for them, we still will interview them to see whether they truly understand the rudiments. So that, and then we classify them as matured applicants. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Please, at this moment, I can only take one question per time. Otherwise,
also look in the chat box. We are, as he is responding, we are providing answers to some of the questions there. So you can check through the chat box as well.
Right. Emmanuel Kwame.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes.
Engineer Chair, please, assuming you have been an electrical engineering technician in a responsible position for over 25 years and have acquired BSc, Electrical and Electronic Engineering, which is less than 3 years, is there any exemptions for you? You are a matured applicant. Is there any exemptions for you?
Well, if you don't want to come as a matured applicant, we will ask per our constitution, you should obtain minimum 3 years experience in the new class that you want to find yourself. So you are a technician, you've obtained your bachelor degree, because when you were a technician, you would have come as PET. But now that you've obtained your bachelor degree, you want to come as a professional engineer. The requirement is that you get the 3 years minimum experience. And then we will take you as a professional. You will then belong to the professional engineering class. Please, is that okay? Thank you very much.
Engineer Chair. Engineer Chair.
Engineer Shakud.
Yes, I think what he's asking for is the route that we normally allow for the confirmation hearing. Because from what he's saying, someone who has practiced for 20 years, obviously, I'm sure his degree, well, he didn't get it in the last 3 years, probably along the line, if I can guess correctly. Is that the case, boss?
Yes, the engineering.
Go ahead.
It's less than 3 years, but the practice as an electrical engineering technician is over 25 years.
Oh, okay. Then obviously, I think what the chair, the membership chair is saying is right. Yes. But that matured, you submit your application as they have said. Wherever your condition, the membership committee will look at it and categorize it properly. And there shouldn't be any issues. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, Budu is up again. Budu, please. We have to give another opportunity to. Okay, Director.
Please, I've just shared a colleague's number. She's Magdalene. She's in charge of all our branch related. I've seen a few questions on what to do if you need to contact somebody at the branch level. I've just shared her phone number for anything that is related to any of our branches. Kindly contact Magdalene. Kindly take her number. And if it solves your problem, please put your hand down for us. Thank you.
Engineer Chair, can I come in?
Okay. Go ahead. Vice President, please go ahead.
Engineer Vice, you are muted.
Okay. Hello, can I be heard? I think I'm having a terrible network. I just want to emphasize a point, the fact that there are two requirements. One is your experience. Now, if, for example, you were operating as a craftsman and now you get a diploma, and even you have 10 years of experience under the craftsmanship, when you get a diploma, you now start operating as a technician. So you cannot use your craftsman experience as an experience with post distance. So it's post-qualification experience. So just to answer the earlier question, you were operating as a technician, now you have a degree. We are now looking at the post-degree experience. You cannot say that, oh, you had some experience some years ago, but you were operating as a technician. So I think the emphasis here is the post-qualification experience, not your total work experience. So when it comes to the committee will start counting from when you got the degree. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vice President. Perry Jivenu.
Morning.
Perry.
Harry Jivenu, can you hear us, please?
Kwekude.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah.
So my question is in relation to the examination. Last year, around September, I paid and also registered by loading all my details, include the payment details for the examination. But since then, I never got any feedback as in when I'll be writing the exams. I kept following up on at the secretariat, but up to now, I've not gotten any feedback. So I want to know if this year I'm to join the examination, am I to pay again?
Richard, can you assist with this?
Hello, Engineer
Richard,
Chair.
yes, please.
Please, he may have to send an email in this regard because we may have to investigate. We made provisions for all candidates who made payments. So if it's his fault that he didn't come, then he will have to pay again because emails went out to anybody who made payments for the exams. So during we also shared the exam schedule. So during the period of the exam, you didn't call, you didn't get an email, and you didn't call, you didn't follow up during that period. And come once the exam is done, you may have to pay because the portal can only be opened for examination once payment has been made.
And the second question is there any assistant that maybe if I need any assistance in terms of registration, I can get the contacts?
Yes, we've shared a number of contacts and emails to you on the chat box. So kindly go through, okay? Please, we are accepting only one question per applicant for now. Perry, are you ready now? Perry Jivenu, are you ready to ask your question?
Yes, I'm ready.
Go ahead. One question, please.
Maybe it was said earlier, but I want to find out if, how do we get a membership number?
Membership ID. What do you mean membership number? Membership?
I mean the GhIE number, the GhIE number.
ID number. Kindly go through the process of application as stated on our website, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Leslie Adipo.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Two quick things. In the course of the presentation, the understanding I get is that you would have to visit either the head office or the branch office initially with some details before you can go online to begin the online registration. What kind of details do you have to supply? And then secondly, I've been practicing for over 20 years. Initially as an electrical engineer, electronic engineer. Along the line, I did some telecommunications, and currently I'm doing more IT. By as far as the technical divisions are concerned, I don't know where IT or networking will fall, cybersecurity and all those stuff. Even though my first degree is in electrical and electronic engineering, my master's is in IT and then some IT law. So currently, I do more IT project management, cybersecurity and stuff. Would like for, and then the fact that I have about over 20 years experience,
So kindly go ahead with your submission, especially is also in electrical. Division. So the division has both electrical and electronic, and subdivisions were mentioned. We have IT, biomedical as part of the electrical, electronic, technical division. So when these applications are proposed. So you do the first step. But I see Richard, is it not, that's not a Richard. Okay. All right. So sir, kindly go ahead with electrical, electronic, and then you will be advised as you move along. If there's any peculiarity, kindly send an email to Juliet.Gomita@GhIE. All right. Thank you.
All right. Participants, I will take only one more question. We've gone way past our time, and thanks for the forbearance, applicants.
Yes. I happen to be out of the country.
In that case,
And I've been practicing out of the country. Hello.
Please hold on. Please hold on. Engineer Chad is
Sorry.
making a point. Let him finish.
Sorry about that. Yes, sorry.
I will take only one more question. I'll ask Charles Ayipa to ask that question. Please, any other question, kindly contact the emails and contacts we've put in the chat box, and you will get your responses. I will take only one more question from Charles Ayipa.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Chair. Please, regarding the presentation, is it only for a project that you have been able to supervise from start to finish, or you can also use an ongoing project that is in progress? I'm asking this because, you know,
you can use an ongoing project. You can use an ongoing project. You can use a completed project. You can use the research that you've undertaken. That the most important thing is that it's something that you were involved in, you participated in. You can speak to the issues. That's the most important thing for us.
Okay, thank you so much.
Is that
Please,
okay?
I'm in account. Can I get my branch lead so that if I need more inquiries, I can reach out?
Please contact the secretariat. You will get, we've shared the email of the one who deals with branch issues. You will get whatever information you need. Please, participants, it's been more than close to 3 hours of presentation and questions. All your questions will be addressed if you send to the secretariat. But we've already taken a lot of the time of secretariat, and I want to thank you for your forbearance, and I want to wish you all the best as you take the next step of becoming a member of this institution. We need more members, and so we wish you all the best. I'll hand over to Director Membership for closing remarks.
Thank you all so much. It's been quite long. I've just shared the mode of payment. Those who asked for mobile money. We'll just give 1 minute. Kindly scroll through the chat. If there's any number you need to copy, kindly do so. Cicho has just sent a link for the exam portal. Kindly copy that. We've shared the membership email address again. So kindly use this last minute to go through and copy any relevant things that apply to you, including Magdalene's number. I saw a question from who, the various branches. Yes. So thank you all very much for joining in. Adobia, can you unmute to speak? Adobia.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, just a quick one. So, as we are about to draw the curtain to this meeting, I just wanted to know that, all information that will be sent to them, we are pleading with them, they should please take note of every circulation that comes to them, either text message, email, whatever. They should just go through. If it doesn't relate to them, they can ignore. And then again, when we direct them as to what to do, because I can tell that in the past 3 days, applications, okay, so from Friday, I have really followed the applications. And instead of them sharing payment advice with payments email, they keep sharing it with membership mail. The people are many. So if you don't go by the directives you give us, we give you, sorry, you make the work a bit difficult. So please, we are begging you, kindly bear with us. When we direct you to do this, please go by it. And then again, we observe in time past that people go through examinations, and then once they see that they have passed, they start using the ING title. Now, the Professional Practice and Ethics Committee is very keen on such issues. So please take note, until you are duly inducted, you are not supposed to use the ING title. And then, if you happen to have any person's number here, please don't share information that you're supposed to. Let's say we send you an email, you're supposed to reply, and then you go and send your feedback to an individual in the secretariat because of familiarity or whatever. We are not going to condone such things going forward. So please, kindly take note of all instructions and then obey them. Thank you.
Please, I hope everybody took note of that. Adobia is the first point of call. She receives all the applications that come in. So kindly comply so that you make the work doable, and then we respond to you appropriately. Just a point of clarification, the mobile money number shared, that is for your subscription. Please don't pay your exam fees to that one. As Cicho presented, all examination fees should be paid on the exam portal. All examination fees should be paid on the examination portal. The mobile money number that has been shared are for those who are in arrears of TPE subscription amounts, some as far back as 2019. So clear those, and then all examination payments should be made on the portal. On that note, I want to thank Engineer Chair, Engineer Dr. Michael Wama. I want to thank Engineer Samuel and Richard Peters for being, and then our examination officer is on leave, but he's been online the whole time. Richie, thank you for joining. Adobia, Engineer Vice President, Engineer Patrick Bequin, thank you so much. Shakud, all colleagues that have joined, thank you very much. And all prospective members of our noble institution, we want to encourage you to go ahead with your applications. We are here to support you. You can walk into the secretariat if you are in Accra and need any special support. Send the emails to Juliet Nosgomita if you have any special cases. And all the best. We wish you well. On that note, I want to ask one volunteer to give us a closing prayer, and then we'll end our meeting. Thank you.
Buduata, pray for us.
Budu, you are muted. Please pray with us. Okay. Ahmed Boateng, can you please pray with us?
All right, so Father, we thank you for such a time like this. We are grateful unto you for a successful workshop. As we depart to our various homes, we pray that you will continue to protect us. Let the process, the examination process, the application process, let it be smooth. And in the end, we'll give you the glory that is due your name. We thank you, Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
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 You have a good evening, everybody.
Amen.
Bye.
Amen. Bye.
Richie,
Hello, madam.
do you have any, did I clarify the payment properly?
Yes, that's fine.
Any last minute thing, so we are good.
So I think we are good. So for now, we'll just open the portal just after this meeting. The portal will be open, so people can access the portal from the website. Situ has also shared the link on the chat. So when you go to the website, you go to examination, the link is there. You click on the link to submit your career reports.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's all follow due diligence. Adubia is here, don't overwhelm her. All right. Yeah, she was.
So around and off. All right.
Leave.
Great.
Engineer Chair.
It's March exams, so March exams. I'm troubled though. It has to come before. Sorry.
Engineer Chair, please, I'll call you after the we end the. Richie, please end the meeting and kindly get the recording on the website tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
If